There is a version of you that gets up early. That one goes for the run, answers the message, starts the thing you have been putting off since spring. You can picture him perfectly. And yet here you are, on the couch, phone in your hand, watching a person on a screen do the exact thing you meant to do today. You call that laziness. You call it a flaw in your character. It is not. It is a survival system that is older than your species. It is running right now, and it is beating you. So what is it actually protecting you from? Start with the most expensive object you own. It is not your phone. It sits behind your eyes. Your brain is about 2% of your body weight, and it burns roughly a fifth of your energy, all day, every day, whether you are solving a problem or staring at a wall. It is the hungriest organ you have. And for almost every ancestor you have ever had, that hunger was a genuine problem, because food was not something you ordered. It was something you chased, dug up, or did without. So, hundreds of thousands of years ago, long before shops and switches, evolution installed one very simple rule in there. And the rule is this: never spend energy you do not have to. Every movement is a withdrawal from an account you are not certain you can refill. And notice what that means. That instinct is not a bug in the software. It is the software. Picture a camp on a cold night. The fire low, no meat left, and none promised. The people who made it through that were not the most energetic ones. They were the ones who were brilliant at doing absolutely nothing when nothing needed doing, sitting still by the coals, spending not one calorie they did not have to spend. I have a pair of running shoes by my door that I have now walked past for 3 weeks, and I still cannot honestly tell you why. So I went looking for the reason, and I found it in a laboratory in Switzerland. Some years ago, researchers there wired people up with electrodes and gave them a simple game. Little pictures appeared on a screen, some of people being active, some of people lounging in hammocks, and the participants had to move a figure toward the active ones and away from the lazy ones as fast as they could. The behavior looked heroic. People were quick to head for the active pictures and quick to flee the hammocks. But the electrodes told a different story. Getting away from the images of rest cost them measurably more brain resources. Their heads had to work harder to reject the couch than to reach for the run. As one of the researchers put it, the brain seems to be innately attracted to sitting still. And it got worse, or better, depending on how you look at it. The effect was strongest in the people who exercised the most. Read that again, because it rewrites the whole story. The fit ones are not people whose brains stopped pulling toward the couch. Their brains pull just as hard. They are simply the ones paying the toll over and over every single day. Willpower is not a personality trait you either have or you do not. It is a bill. So why does giving up feel so good? This is where it gets slippery, because your brain does not experience this as a punishment. Researchers now argue that saving effort is quietly rewarding all on its own. Skip the thing, and something in you relaxes, like a hand unclenching. That warm little wave of relief when the plan gets canceled, when the rain gives you an excuse, when you decide tomorrow is basically today, that is not weakness. That is a reward being paid out. Your brain is tipping you for the calories you just kept. So the mystery deepens. If we are wired to save every scrap of energy, why does sitting on a chair all day so obviously wreck us? Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, a group of researchers went to Tanzania and blew up the thing everybody believes. So, how much do people rest when there is no couch to rest on? They strapped monitors to the legs of Hadza hunter-gatherers, people who live roughly the way humans lived for most of our history, and they measured how much they actually rest. Everybody expects the answer to be that ancient humans never stopped moving. The answer is the opposite. The Hadza spend around 10 hours a day off their feet. That is not far off an office worker. Nobody is naturally busy. There is no lost tribe of humans who loved the treadmill. Resting is not the modern disease. Resting is the ancient default, and they do it too. So what is different? Look at how they rest. They do not have chairs. They rest deep in a squat or kneeling, and when the scientists measured the muscles in their legs, those legs were still quietly working the whole time. They called it active rest. Your chair is doing something no rock, no log, no crouch in the dirt has ever done. It holds your whole body up for you, so your muscles switch off completely for hours. That is the twist nobody sees coming. The problem was never that we rest too much. It is that we invented a way to rest too well. Our bodies expected lazy. They just never expected a sofa. But if the rule made sense back then, why does it wreck your Tuesday now? Because the rule cannot read a calendar. It was built for a world where energy was scarce, tomorrow was uncertain, and a stroll cost you something you might not get back. Now the calories are infinite, and the threats are abstract. Your brain still treats a run as a withdrawal from a starving account, and it still treats the reward as a rumor, because the payoff for exercise arrives in a future it was never designed to imagine. Effort is a bill that lands today. Health is a promise about a stranger you will become in 20 years. That is not a fair fight. By contrast, look how easily your hands find the coffee, the biscuit, the glass of water in the fridge door. Anything that pays out now sails straight through, because now is the only thing this system was built to trust. And there is one more piece, the cruel one. The rule does not just measure effort, it guesses at effort. Long before you have done anything, your brain runs the numbers, and its estimate is almost always too high. So what is really stopping you, the task or the guess? That is why the hardest part of a workout is the doorway. That is why the message you dread for 3 days takes 90 seconds to write. You are not avoiding the task. You are flinching at a price tag your own head made up. So what do you do with a machine that is rigged against you? Not what you have been told. You have been told to want it more. But the study says the pull toward rest does not vanish in fit people. So the trick was never to stop feeling it. Stop fighting the rule and start using it. Your brain is a bargain hunter. So change the prices. Make the good thing the cheap thing. Shoes by the door. Gym on the way home. Never a detour. The guitar out of its case and on the stand. And make the easy thing expensive. Phone in another room and suddenly scrolling costs a walk. This is not a trick. It is the actual mechanism. And because the estimate is the enemy, attack the estimate. Do not agree to the run. Agree to the shoes. Agree to 2 minutes. And let your brain discover the price was a lie. Motion is what kills the invented number, and it dies almost instantly. Then use the Hadza answer for the rest of it. You do not need to hate sitting. You need your rest to have a pulse in it. Sit on the floor sometimes. Take the call standing. Squat down to reach the bottom shelf and stay there a second. This is not exercise. It is closer to what your body has always been quietly expecting while it rests. So, look back at that couch, and at the version of you who got up. That gap between you was never a character flaw. It is the oldest, most successful survival rule in the animal world, still running, still perfectly convinced that you might not eat this winter. You are not lazy. You are expensive, and something in you is trying very hard to keep you alive. The next time you feel that heavy pull toward the sofa, you do not have to hate yourself for it. Just answer it out loud. Thanks. I have enough food, and go and put your shoes on.